Aloha and welcome to this screencast on BowFolios. BowFolios is a sample application I built to help ICS 314 students understand some basic web application technologies like Meteor, React, Semantic UI, and uniforms, as well as some common design ideas or design patterns for building web apps. So here's what the system looks like when you download it and run it. You can see we get this landing page, which is basically a static page that just shows some screenshots of what's happening. But there's also three public pages. The first public page is called Profiles, and it shows all the profiles currently in the system, and BowFolios ships with some sample data which gets loaded implicitly when the database is empty. So when you bring up the system, you're gonna bring up 6 users, and that just helps you understand how the data model works a little better. So we have 6 colleagues of mine at the University of Hawaii. We can also go to a projects page, and this shows kind of a different, organization of the same kind of data. Now we're looking at projects and the interests and users associated with them, whereas before we were looking at the users and the interests and projects associated with them. And then we can always go the third way and show the set of interests and then the profiles and projects associated with them. So being able to show the data kind of sliced and diced in different ways is an important thing to be able to do during rapid prototyping and initial development. And so this system kind of shows you an easy way to do that. So those are the public pages. You can see those without logging in, but if you log in, you can do some additional stuff. So you go over here. If again, the system comes with some predefined users, but you could always go in and create a new email address, new password, and become a new user. In this case, what I'll do is I'm going to log in with one of the predefined user accounts, which happens to somewhat reflect me. And when you log in, you go to your home page, and your home page is basically a form that allows you to update your profile. So for example, I could say instead of professor, so if I go to profiles, you can see it says right here, professor. I could go back to here and say professor of computer science, and maybe I'll add an interest. I'd also like to be interested in, visualization. So if I click update, I get a little sweet alert, it's called, showing that the things were updated successfully. Now if I go to the profiles page, you can see it says Professor of Computer Science rather than just Professor, and in fact visualization has been added to my set of interests. Once you've logged in, there's 2 other pages that are also available to you in addition to your home page. There's an Add Project page where you can go ahead and define new projects for the system, and it's very straightforward. I won't show you that. And then there's also this filter page, which is a way of showing how you can allow the user to do queries on your database. And so in this case, the query would be, show me all the profiles that are associated with the set of interests that I specify. So I'm going to say I'm interested in these 2 interests. What are all the profiles that match? You can see software engineering matches 2 out of the 6 people. If I keep adding stuff, eventually I should have all 6 people. I'm up to 4. I don't know. Maybe does this get me there? Okay, there we go. Now we have all 6 people, and I could get rid of some and submit and see if that changed. No, that doesn't change anything. So you can play these games, right? There we go. So that in a nutshell is the user interface of the system. We have certain pages that are publicly available, certain other pages that are only available if you log in. And from a data model point of view, the most interesting thing is that we have these many-to-many relationships between profiles, projects, and interests. And we need a convenient way to represent that so that when we build these pages, it's super easy to build a page organized by projects and know all the interests and profiles. Alternatively, if we're building a page of all the profiles, we need an equally simple way to get at their associated interests and projects. So that's a general kind of data modeling problem, and I'll show you a quite straightforward way to solve it in the code base.